Hey everyone, my name is Sarah York and this is my first YouTube video. And today I will be answering some questions that I was asked on Instagram while I finish a painting that will be available for purchase in my upcoming collection. I crushed that. Who is the most famous person my art has been sold to? It makes me feel good that anybody wants to buy my art, but I have been fortunate to work with several celebrities. It will be announced in a way that's really cool. We'll see. I'll keep y'all updated. So the next question is, what materials do I use when I paint? So for this painting, for example, I have a base of acrylic paint, and then I like to add a lot of the times modeling paste or plaster, mix it up with paint, really builds up a nice soft texture or really thick texture. I will do lots of details with these soft oil pastels and colored pencil a lot of the time as well. Sometimes I use ink, but not all the time, but it's pretty consistent throughout all my art, as those are the four main things that you'd see. Okay, so the next question is, how does my love for streetwear tie into my artwork? For me, I think I'm so inspired by how streetwear can be almost anything you want. I think that in fashion, there's some of the most freedom in streetwear. Streetwear isn't necessarily like a certain style, it's what you see out on the street most of the time. And so for me, in translating that with my art, I want my art to be whatever I want it to be and what I'm feeling, not necessarily what the world finds as popular. Okay, the next question is, do I want any more tattoos? And the answer is yes. Shout out to Snappy Tats. He's been my tattoo artist here in Nashville. He's fantastic, and I've actually been emailing him recently to maybe get another one. So I know that I want 3 more that I know of. Just all up my neck. What would I consider my signature? I would say I probably have 2 or 3 signatures things that I feel like you can recognize my pieces by. I love to create really loose texture in my compositions, scattered throughout the paintings. Sometimes the full paintings are textured. And then my choice of words that I like to use in my pieces as well. I feel like it's another way that my art, can be recognized. I love the idea of little hidden words and text, maybe sometimes even illegible. Or another signature I like to use would just be loose lines. Next question is, how do I name my pieces? That is a great question. I think that a lot of the times I actually come up with the name first. I might even hear somebody say something off the street and I'm like, that's a good painting title. And I can kind of then, once I come up with the name, I envision the rest of the piece. I feel like the name really embodies what my pieces are, and I think that it's super important. The name can really help tell the story of what the painting is. A lot of times if you look at an abstract piece, you might not even really know what you're looking at, and then when you hear the name, you're like, oh my god, that makes so much more sense, or you can really gauge like the emotion that I'm trying to pull from the piece. I wouldn't say it's random, but I have a long list on my phone of like pieces I want to create based on names I have. Okay, so how many pieces have I created throughout my career? I kept track of that really well for a while. It's more than 100. I wonder if it's more than 150. Because it's like in my career, well, that'd be since 2020 is when I started selling art. But I mean, if we're talking like lifetime, like I painted a long time before I started selling. Like my mom just has stacks and stacks and stacks of canvases from my childhood just at her house. So there's really no telling. We'll say more than 150 in my career, probably. Do I have a least favorite piece I've ever created? No, I wouldn't say I have a least favorite, but I would say that I definitely have pieces that have taken a lot more time and that I've struggled with more to create my vision than others. But no, not a least favorite, and I don't think that I would ever want to create something for somebody else necessarily that I don't like or that I'm not proud of. What is the most difficult piece I've ever had to create? I think the most difficult piece for me that I've ever had to create was a piece in my last collection called Boxing a Butterfly, which it's funny because the title is all about, you know, don't take things too seriously. Like the small problems, you're just boxing a butterfly. Like it's not that hard. Yet the piece itself was such a struggle to create and get the final concept to look just how I wanted it to really evoke that emotion. Okay, favorite place to go in Nashville? I would say top tier favorite restaurant, maybe not just in Nashville, but ever that I've been to is this place called Locust. It's at the edge of an area called 12 South, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with. If you've been to Nashville or live in Nashville, Locust is hands down just, I would go just for the experience, like to have a drink and just experience that environment. The chefs are so cool. I think that it's some of the best food I've ever had, and it's different. Like it is not your typical restaurant experience. And if you're planning on coming here or live here and are looking for a new spot to go, Nashville. In Nashville. Wally.
Believe
it. Locust is where you need to go. My cat's the cameraman today. It's the best way to ruin a nice manicure. Who are some creators that are not visual artists or painters that inspire me? I feel like if you know me, then you know this answer. It's pretty obvious. I am inspired a lot by Kelly Wearstler. I'm inspired a lot by Kelly Wearstler and just all the phenomenal design work she does and how she's able to mix textures and materials, her use of materiality together. If you haven't had the chance to go to any of, I think that Virgil Abloh, huge inspiration for me. His story, Kanye West, it's probably a controversial one at the moment, but I do not care. I love Kanye West and his story, his journey through music is super inspiring to me. Bruce Pearl inspires me. Bruce Pearl is the head coach for Auburn basketball, War Eagle. I haven't officially announced the date of the release of my next collection yet, but just know it is very, very soon, and probably by the time that I put this video out, I'll have announced it, I'm assuming. I feel like as a collective, it's one of my strongest strongest collection so far. Okay, I just wanted to show y'all kind of what I was able to do while I was making this video. It's not completely finished yet. I'll probably post the final product on Instagram, so go ahead and follow me there if you don't already. by_Sarah York. And hopefully I make more videos in the next couple weeks, just kind of that show what it's like to be an artist in Nashville things. Who knows? Maybe just videos of my cat. I'm excited.